What's going on, family? Back in the lab with A Brew. You got Shane and JE on here tonight, man. We're talking about, and we're probably gonna have a in-person visit from King David, but we're talking about, is it time for the Atlanta Hawks to move on from Trae Young? We know Trae Young is the 25-10 walking bucket, but right now the team is looking like they're more explosive without him. So we're gonna have the chat rolling. So feel free to chime into the chat, and if you leave your comments, we will read them on the air and get to it. But hey, I'm gonna start with either one of y'all gentlemen, man. Y'all can open this up. Is it time for the Hawks to move on from Trae Young?
Mm-hmm. Jay, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I started.
Let's go ahead.
That's tough, man. That's in my eyes, that's a tough one, man. Trading did a lot for the city of Atlanta. Even though we never made it to the championship or anything of that nature, I do believe though we have seen a lot of success with him. I know he hasn't been present on the court for us, and we do look very good, without him. But I do think he is that it factor that the Hawks will need down the line to knock off one of the bigger teams, meaning
Mhm.
the Cavs, the Knicks, Celtics. I think Trey will be very helpful to the Hawks, in that situation.
But right now we winning without Trae against the Cavs. I think we beat the Cavs the other night. We win in double overtime against Philly. So
Yes, yes, yes.
right now the defense is 1-2 without Trae. You know what I mean? So what
They're
y'all
a
guys
gritty
think about
team.
that?
They're definitely a gritty team. But you got
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I think it really just comes down to how far, like, what ceiling do we think we have with Trey? I mean, like over the years, I really feel like the efficiency has gone down, and I mean, we look really good right now. I mean, Ricochet, we got Jalen Johnson averaging almost 25 points per game the last 10 games.
Yeah.
Kongwu is really killing it. But
Nickel
I mean,
Alexander is
I
hooping.
like
Yeah.
Shane was basically saying, do we have the it factor to beat a team in a playoff? Because we're not just here to just win regular season games. We're here to see if we can compete for a championship.
Shit, yeah.
And that it factor, I do believe Trey has, but I don't know if that it factor can carry us to a championship, is what I'm saying. So I don't really know if our ceiling is high enough for Trey. And if we don't think that ceiling is high enough, we just need to go ahead and cash in and get the draft capital. So,
Yeah,
um, I
I
mean,
can
it
see
really
that.
just comes down to what ceiling do you think Trey really gets us to?
What do you think, Shane? Think we got the
Uh,
ceiling?
I do. Trey, it can be a hit or miss because we know what we're gonna get on the offensive side, but it comes down to that
That
defense, and we
defense.
all know at the end of the day, defense do win championships, and offense just win the game. We do know defense close it out. So, with that being said, draft capital is cool. I'm willing to take it if we do, move on for Trey. I just think that it factor would probably cost us somewhere against like Detroit, them gritty teams. I think,
Right.
our finesse would get us there, but I think we need that attitude. And I think Trey do have that attitude, man. He got that swag about himself, that you need to win those big games. And me right now, I'm stuck between the rock and the hard place on
It's
Trey. I am.
it's definitely not a win now. It's definitely not a win now
Yeah.
solution to trade him 100%.
It's
But
just it's just the thing is the East so wide open, man. You can trade them away and still make it, or you can keep them and possibility still make it. So it's a toss up. Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Because Hawks is a scary team in the East, if you ask me. They are.
I think the Hawks can
yeah,
be very scary in the East
I
right now.
think so.
they sure
I think
can.
we number 2, right? I think we on the in the ranking. I
Yeah, I
think we
want to
Hawks.
say, well, I know we just lost last night to the
Let me look
Pistons.
at the standings.
So we could have dropped from there, but I want to say we definitely in the top five, guaranteed.
See what made me think about is Trey. Is it time to move on from Trey? It's like last year we was in the play-in
Hmm.
in Orlando. I think we went down to Orlando. It was like Game 7, and Trey just looked like he was ready to go on vacation. He seemed like he was disinterested. I feel if we had the trade that was hungry, he could have pushed that. I believe we could have won that Game 7 with Trey. Even though Paulo and all them balls were tough last year, but
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Magic,
But
great
I
team.
feel like Trey could have gave us a little more effort. I think his bags was packed and they was ready to go to his vacation spot.
Mhm.
So that's why I was thinking.
I can see that.
And now we early in the season. I understand he's injured, but
Mhm.
I didn't see that same fire even at the beginning of the season of this year.
Yeah, yeah, I'm starting to see. Well, with a lot of the guards this year, I think the John Morant situation, Trey, I think it's gonna be a lot of mixing up with the guards before the trade deadline. In my eyes, I do think so. And I feel like a lot of the guards are kind of being a little disrespected. I know basketball is a big man's game, but those guards, man, they bring a lot. Granted, yeah, it's a lot on the offense, not too much on the defensive side, but I want to say they're just. I think they just want to see if they got the team around them. And sometimes the players do this. They want to see what they got around them, and then they'll give them, give their all. Compared to Trey right now, I feel like he just put out a lot, and he not sure if it's gonna be enough, and he probably are ready to leave. So,
So, because I'm thinking, Jay, like with Jalen Johnson, with Dyson, with
mhm,
Mogay, with Ricochet, with
mhm.
Porzingis. Right now, I think we got a team that can possibly come out of the East, if not go to the NFC
He
Championship.
No,
and
yeah,
that's the thing right there is if you can get a 2021 Trae Young with the team around, I think we can come out the East. Now, what do we do after we come out the East? When you got to face the OKC, I'm not very OKC is the bar for every team right now.
yeah.
So
Offense and
I'm
defense,
not sure
yes.
what we can do, but just looking on paper, I believe from what I've seen the past 10 games, just without Trey,
Mhm,
if you add Trey to that team and you can keep the defensive identity, which, there's an argument to be made that, you know, because Trey Young doesn't really buy into the defensive side, and it's not just about a buy-in and an effort thing too, because
mhm.
he's literally they list him at 6'1", but I mean I really think Trey's 5'10". He's not the biggest
Easily.
guy.
No,
I mean, there's only so much you can do at that size. So,
mhm,
I mean, if you can keep the defensive identity to a certain level, and you can add a 25 and 10 guy and still get, the 2021 Trey Young, because that was a more efficient, I would say, better decision maker Trey Young. You could be, really, really come out the East. I really do believe
mhm.
we could beat a Detroit. Detroit is at the top of the
That's
East right
tough.
now.
That's
Celtics
tough.
ain't really in it, but I think you can definitely beat a Magic. I think you can beat a Cavs. I think you can beat these teams with Trey Young. But the thing
Mhm.
is like it's been a regression from year to year from Trey
Mhm.
Young, as far
No.
as efficiency on offense and decision making. And
Mhm.
I mean, he's still 25 and 10, but it's like if you're not this overall positive on offense and you're such a net negative on defense, it's like we can't really maximize you know what we can
Team
get
potential.
out of this team. So I'm not really sure. You guys can speak to it. What you think, if you guys think we can still be this competitive team defensively, keep this identity. But I don't really know if it's possible with Trey Young. So you know,
Yeah, that's a tough one. Because like we all know, he's a liability on defense. But in my eyes, because I look at OKC, they are a very good team on defense.
oh yeah,
I want to say because you see Lou Dort, he'll probably guard the best player one on one here and there, but they're so good at trapping that once you get to a certain spot, it helps the defense now where you just have to play the passing lanes. And I wonder if the Hawks transition to something of that nature on defense, would that help? Trey Young situation. I never seen them, try to make it where you're trying to help a player. In my eyes,
Gotcha.
we went to the zone, we'll try this or try that, but why not try the OKC route? Let's trap some players when they get to half court, or let's try to put them in this position, or something of that nature to help his case on defense. But right now I'm just stuck between I don't know what the Hawks really want to do, or what their identity really is besides being a finesse team.
So let me ask y'all this, because we have seen Trey with Lloyd Pierce,
Mhm,
we seen Trey with Nate McMillan, we seen Trey now with Quinn Snyder.
mhm.
Is Trey coachable?
uh, it's really I think I don't really know if Trey and I don't want to say he's not bought in, because he's brought a level of consistency every year. I mean, every year you can count on the Hawks
His
being a top
numbers,
five
yeah.
team offensively. But and I mean, I can't really fault him if he's like, why would I try something new, offensively? But there's a consistent pattern of, hey, we need to get the offense more dynamic. Maybe it needs to be more off ball. We need Trey to buy in a little bit more defensively. But I mean, regardless of whatever coach is coach Trae Young, it seems like to be the same pattern. So I mean, I don't want to say Trae Young's not bought in, but again, I mean, regardless of coaching, I don't. I just maybe it just comes down to he just doesn't have the
Mhm,
defensive tangibilities or the physicals to do what needs to happen for us to win as far as defensively goes. But I don't want to say he's not bought in offensively. But I mean, it's really hard to say, and I don't know if you guys got a different opinion on if
mhm,
he's really coachable or not. Um, but I mean, I'm sure there's different opinions, but I can't really say if he's coachable, not coachable, because he has brought a level of consistency that
mhm.
not a lot of players in the league, can say they brung.
No, no, fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm with you. I can agree with you on that. I mainly would say I feel like Trey is coachable to a degree. I feel
Okay.
like with his status now, it's more so on that level where yes, he didn't make all the All Stars. Yes, he haven't won the championship of that nature. But you look at Luca, who has made it. You know, I feel like Luca and Trey is also on the same level in my eyes. They are
Yeah.
very good on offense, not so good on defense. But I feel like they have this has a status where the coaches has to come in and they almost have to be like a 50-50 thing. Yes, players got to respond to the coach and this and that, but it's a different thing when you're on the court and you're saying one thing and when you seeing it and playing against it, it's two different things, So I feel like in that nature of that case, Trey is a coachable player. I feel like in that the year we made the Eastern Conference Final when we played against the Bucks and lost, I feel like that year he was very bought in, but he was bought in because of the talent that he had around him. Now I feel like over the last few years, he probably been trying to play down to the talent compared to trying to uplift the talent. And now we seeing them uplift themselves, and we like, oh dang, they doing this without Trey Young. And I think that's where we at right now.
And to your point, and just real quick to your point about the talent around him, I
Hmm.
think that's another good point because it's just like why would I pass or why would I move off ball if nobody's really doing nothing with it,
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
maybe it's been a small sample size. I like to point out that it's a small sample size of what we got with Trey. Maybe he
Yeah.
could turn this thing around, or he's looking on the court and seeing Jalen Johnson, Nikhil Alexander balling out. Maybe
Hmm.
he's looking at the talent and being like, okay, I can I
Hey, I
can
can
get
buy it
off the
in.
ball a little
Yep.
bit. I can
Yep.
I can buy in different areas. I don't have to
Mhm.
expend so much energy trying to run the offense and be the engine. So
Yeah.
I think that's a real good point. Maybe just give it more time. Maybe he
Yeah.
comes back if
He
this thing
could. Yeah.
gels and this thing
Hmm.
can shoot off in the right direction.
I can see I can see that point. I can see that point on both of them, y'all, man. What y'all was saying, and that's what I was saying because I know the Hawks have they put a pause on his extension. They hadn't gave
Hmm.
him his
Yep. The
extension
money.
yet,
Yep.
and so now I'm like, okay, are they what are they waiting on, or do they see something that we don't see? Are they trying to move on from Trey? Are they trying to see what they can get for Trey? Like I
That's
say,
yeah.
Trey to me, I don't think Trey is a superstar in the league, but I do think he's an all star in the league.
So, yeah. That's
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
yeah.
And then we seen
Yeah.
the trade with Bang. You remember how Orlando
Yeah.
gave Memphis all
Hmm.
those draft picks for
Exactly.
Desmond Bang. I'm like,
Hmm.
so if you did move on from trade, would you
Where do
want
you?
a player and picks, all picks like OKC got to build that,
Mhm.
or what, if you was the GM, how would you handle Trae Young in both scenarios, moving on with him and then trying to stay with him? How would y'all break that down to?
See, in my eyes, in that case, it's all come down to his value. What do other teams see him as? Because I'm okay with the draft capital. As we see, OKC, they the blueprint with it. So if you go that route, it can definitely pay off. But you can also see that, like I said, in the East, it's almost wide open with Jason Tatum still hurt. The Cavs, I never really was a believer in the Cavs.
No, me either.
Magic is a team that do strike a little fear in me, only because they are a nice collective unit as a whole. Um, but I see like the Hawks. What is our missing piece right now? And it's hard for me to see a missing piece when if we healthy. Like we got healthy Porzingis, healthy Jalen Johnson, Nikhil Alexander, Dyson Daniels. All those
Mo'Gay.
guys.
Chicago.
And Mogay, Double O, them guys. When we're completely healthy, it's hard to be like, dang, what is we missing? So like it's just almost what do you really want for Trey? And in my eyes, I'm always good with the bigs. And if I can get Jaren Jackson, a defense anchor,
I like
I really
that. I
don't.
like
Yeah, I'm
that.
about to say I really don't really want nothing else. That's all.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. If I'm the GM, I'm paying close attention. This is the big year for Trey. Outside of 2021,
yep,
this is it right here because you don't have a Celtics. The Pacers.
yep.
What's the
They
name?
hurt.
Got
Halliburton
injured.
hurt. Yep, Halliburton.
Halliburton.
Yep.
So this is the year.
East
If
wide
there's
open.
any year to do it, we got you. Nikhil
Yeah,
Alexander been
This
one
is
of
this year. Yeah,
the best pickups, if not the best
that's true.
pickups
yeah.
in
This
all of
offseason.
offseason. He's been
Yeah.
averaging almost 25 points per game the
Yep.
past 10 games.
And
So
Jalen Johnson is definitely
uh,
balling like an all-star. So
these pieces are in place, and I believe
mhm,
his contract runs through the 2026-2027, and I also
mhm.
believe he has a player option with that. So I don't know if
Mhm.
he'd opt in or if he'd opt out, see what the market is like. Obviously, you don't want him to opt out and just go in free agency. You
No.
want to get
Yeah, you
something in
want
return.
some type of value.
Uh,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Assets.
but this, if I'm the GM, I'm paying close attention to this year, and I'm seeing how it gels. If this thing can really, because we know the talent is there. We know the
Mm-hmm.
talent is there.
Yeah.
And the East is wide open. So if I'm
It's
a
wide open.
GM, I'm looking like, how does this thing look? Is Are we really competitive? Are we beating the top teams? How's this thing
Hmm.
gelling? And if I don't believe, and again, it was a small sample size. If he comes back and we see more games with it, 10, 15, 20 games, and we get to the trade deadline, and it's still not where we want it to be, um, like you said, Shane, I'm looking at the market. Who's
Yeah, yeah.
who's willing to get me what? If I
And
can get a solid player, like you said, Jaren Jackson,
yeah,
or if I can get another guard, a
yeah.
really good guard that I think can fit the identity a bit more, um, then I go for
Yeah,
that. And
yeah.
if there's no good players, if I can, I think Desmond Bain had like five first
Yeah,
round draft
crazy.
picks
Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
a second
yeah.
round or four first round in a second round. So if I can get something like that,
Yeah, I'm
I
taking it.
gotta
I'm
put my
taking it.
hands up. I gotta take it. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's where I'm sitting at right now. If I was the GM,
And
yeah,
speaking on liabilities, y'all remember a few years ago, and pretty much still is, he got better on defense. Stephen Curry was a liability on
yeah,
defense,
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
and they made sure he got either the wingman or somebody. They
Hmm.
they tried to keep him away
Yeah,
from the
wait,
one on
yeah.
one action. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So if you got a team around you like the Draymonds but back then that's when you had Clay was a hell of a two
Yeah,
way
two-way
player.
guard. Yep. We had
Uh, uh,
Wiggins. I want to say
Wiggins,
Wiggins was
yeah,
there. Yeah.
Iguodala, right?
2021,
I want to. It was it. With
Yeah,
20. Yeah, I want to
20.
say it. It
2021 was
left.
the Ig. Ig was still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Iguodala's
Okay.
still
So he's
there.
still there. Okay. Okay.
Yep,
So
Draymond,
that
Wiggins. Yeah,
defense, that
Hmm.
team defense kind of shielded Steph
Yeah.
a
It
lot. You know
helped.
what I
Yeah.
mean? But then Steph put
Hmm.
some pressure on you on offense.
Offense, exactly. You got to counter
So
right,
punch. It's tough. It's tough.
I mean,
Yeah.
right.
so I could see that's where Trey could be.
Hmm.
Even though he's now, but now we also have to remember Steph is a legit 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah. He
Exactly.
is. He is. He
So he's a
is.
little
He
bigger,
is.
and
Yeah,
to
that
me,
that was
he's
Yeah.
another point.
stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
another point. Just to bring up, like Steph. You could see the physical change from Steph between 2015 and 2021.
Yeah.
He just
Hmm.
built more muscle. He bought in defensively, and that's just the type
Hmm.
of character Steph is. But you look at Trey, and it's just like, it's one. I don't know how bought in he is, but two, he's also even more physically incapable. So it's like, and he's not this overwhelming force that Steph Curry is. So,
No.
um, I'm not really sure.
I'm about to say just to speak on to that. if you feel like, or if he come back and he can give you the 50% from the field goal, 40% behind the three, and 90% at the free throw line, do you keep Trey even though he's a
Oh yeah.
liability on defense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's
Because
that's
Steph,
that's
Steph, that's where was the counterpunch with Steph. He can also give you that 50-40-90. But yes, we know
exactly.
he's a liability on defense, but that 50-40-90
Hmm.
always gonna counterpunch.
Oh yeah.
So if Trey can come back healthy and give us that, I think that is where that's our
Dude,
answer.
and that's a bonus. I don't think Trey's ever been 50 40
50
90.
40 90
If
at
he could
all.
if he could give us a level of efficiency of 50 40 90 on top of the 10 to 15 assists a night, then
Hmm.
Now that
absolutely
changes
keep
this
Trey.
whole
That
conversation.
that's
Yes.
100%. And with the pieces around him now, I think we better
Mhm,
than 2021. So with the pieces
true.
around him now and how open the East is, um, oh yeah, you 100% keep Trey. But again, like the point I mentioned earlier, it's been a downwards regression every year. So
Yeah,
can I
that's
really
true.
trust Trey to give that? It's really up in the air. He's been in the opposite direction instead of going up more efficient. He's been opposite. So
But then, like to your point about Steph, we seen his physical manifestation over the
Yeah,
years.
that's true.
yeah,
Trey still a little slim.
still
I don't see the muscle. I don't see the. I still see the weak ankles. I
Genetics.
still,
right,
It's the
right. Because
genetics.
you know,
even
yeah.
when Steph was a liability, Steph grew into an average defender and a plus team defender.
Mhm.
And that's just of buying in that Steph did. So it
I,
wasn't
I'm
like
about to,
Steph was just like this dude you just went right past. So, and granted, a lot of that was credit to Draymond and all the guys around him. But um, if Trey's just gonna be this massive negative and he's not the
mhm,
massive positive on offense, then it's
mhm.
just I don't really know how far we can go.
Gotcha on that. What you
I can
think,
see that.
Shane? Go ahead.
I'm about to say, I really think, because when we debating the two and hoping that Trey can be on that level of efficiency of Steph
Yep.
is to a point where is it coaching though? Is Steve Kerr that good of a coach that? Granted, Steph was doing this with Mark Jackson too. Let me throw that out there. But with Steve Kerr, it also helped with that defensive side. So, and by Steph being there, and he probably buying in and like, okay, well, we probably have something going. This could definitely be a dynasty. I think if we have that level of coach, I think Trey can get there too. I don't know his mindset. I don't know, how he see things, but I feel like it do starts with having a coach that's on the same page with him. I feel like Nate McMillan, he was a good coach. I feel like Lord Pierce was a good coach, but those guys have never really. But I can't remember Nate McMillan having a player of this magnitude. I can't really remember too much of his coaching. I know Lord Pierce,
He was
he
the
was the
first time
assistant.
coach.
Yeah, and I'm about to say, and Quinn Snyder, he had Donovan Mitchell with Jazz. So it's more so now. I'm just looking forward to what if we had a coach that come from success, like true success, and can it change how Trey do things? Compared
I,
to where now he feel like, oh well, if the organization don't care, why should I?
that what okay.
Right.
Now this I'm gonna throw a curveball at y'all. Right now these boys are gelling.
Mhm.
They talking about Trey be evaluated in another 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
When Trey's healthy, who you gonna sit down if that team is gelling and winning? Are you gonna, Trey is the man, so you gonna start. But dang, who you gonna sit down, man? To
Naturally, I feel like naturally it's the Kill Alexander, and you just move him as a bench piece because you got Dyson at the two, you got
Mhm.
who's at the Jalen Johnson is out there,
You got Richard
Richardson.
Shay.
I mean, I guess you could move Richardson to the bench and have Jalen play the four and have a Congo at the five. Um, but I think naturally you move Nikhil as a hopefully a 20 point per game off the
I'm about to
bench.
say, yeah, I'm about to say, or yeah, if you do Nikhil, just have him high minutes. He'd be elite six
Mm-hmm.
man coming in early.
Oh yeah.
If it's in the first quarter, he probably come in at the first 4 minutes. He's one of those, or because in my eyes, I feel like the whole team is very good. And I love the defense from them all. Right now, they look very gritty,
yeah,
so
Oh
that's
yeah.
good. So and with Trey, I feel like that efficiency though on offense, like against a Pistons team where we needed that extra offense the other
Oh
night,
yeah.
I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
Trey would have been clutch for
Oh
that.
yeah. I was
But
thinking about that.
and it's just a hit and miss in certain areas. And I feel like if he did come back, yeah, he sit down one of the guards,
But
just
then
one of
the
them.
Pistons, a team like the Pistons, are very physical,
Yeah, they're
Oh
very
yeah.
physical,
physical.
very physical. They
So
are.
can Trey
They are.
handle that? Can he still be efficient with that level of physicality? They gonna bring because they
And
physical up there.
that's playoff basketball. We get the playoffs. The refs ain't blowing that whistle that much
Yeah, that's
anymore.
true. That's true.
It's you're not getting the same calls like you was in the regular season. So
Mm,
and I mean he proved it in 2021. He proved it. I mean he was out there
yeah,
putting
only
the
one
Knicks
against them
out.
tough.
I mean
Maybe the
I felt like
Sixers.
we would have almost beat the Bucks if he didn't get injured by the refs. So
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
um,
that's true.
I mean but is it the same trade though? Because like I said, he's regressed. So, I mean, I feel like 2021 trade 100% could handle that level of aggression with
Hmm.
his finesse and his quickness. But
Hmm.
um, at this, it's really up in the air. So I'm really excited to see when Trey gets back on the court.
And there's gonna be a little
See that.
rust there. It gonna be a
Yeah,
little
Hmm.
rust there,
yeah,
and there's gonna be a little gelling. So I could see some ebbs and flows when he come back. He is
Hmm.
he is our main guy on this team. So,
hmm
and that's what I want to talk about because a lot of people saying, hey, in the national news, they were saying these guys are winning without Trey. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And these are young superstars. Can they go? Can they push it? What? Oh, if you let Trey go, you free up draft cap. You free up not only draft capital, but you get
Yeah.
finances for
Yeah.
the up and coming players.
Mhm.
Because Trey gonna demand shit, what 40, $50 million,
Yeah.
$60 million.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
He gonna
Definitely.
demand a max for sure.
Yeah, he
That
gonna
might be
demand
like
that.
fifty
Definitely in the
fifty.
East. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So that's what. So right now the GM, and then when they saw them, that they held on his extension, and he do got a player option in 22, like you said, Jay, from 26 to 27 season. That's when the
Mhm.
contract really ends. So right now it can get tricky. So, and but at the same time, I think this is just my opinion. Trey is what, eighth year? I think this is Trey eighth
Is
year.
he? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
17. Yeah. 17. Yeah.
If I'm the coach or the GM, I kind of want to give these young guys like Nikhil and Jalen Johnson, give these
Tyson
cats
Daniels.
much time, playing time, until we truly make a decision what we want to do with Trey. You
Yeah,
know what I
and
I can
mean?
see
that's
that. I can see that.
and as far as coaching, I mean, with Trey being out, I think Quinn Snyder might be the guy for us. I know a lot of questions been around if it's coaching or if it's not coaching. I mean, we seeing what the result. We can't argue with what the results are without Trey.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I just think um, with Trey, it's really how fast can he really gel with the guys, and that's all from what I'm really seeing. But I think
Okay.
Laura Pierce, not Laura Pierce, sorry,
Quinn Snyder.
Quinn
Quinn
Snyder.
Snyder is
Oh.
is is a is a good coach for us as far as just
Solid.
with coaching the young guys up and creating a
Mhm.
defensive identity.
I got you on that.
Yeah.
So I got y'all on that. So what we're gonna do now? And I appreciate that because that was our main topic. Is it time to move on with Trey right now? It still look like it's undecided. It's still like we
Yes.
need to watch
Yeah.
a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's see how he bounced back with his injury. Let's see how he gelled with the guys.
Mm.
It's a little bit more to this thing just to get rid of
Yeah.
him right now. If he's not a distraction, he's willing to buy in. I'm with y'all. I'll keep
Yeah.
him too. I keep him too. But I want to hit y'all with a curveball, man. Something totally different from the Hawks. What the heck is going on with Ja Morant, man?
Man,
What's up with Ja?
I think he just want to change the scenery, man. If I'm being real, bro,
Yeah.
Ja might want to go to
Yeah.
Miami Heat, bro. He want to go to Miami, dude. It's just Ja don't want to be there up there at Memphis, bro.
Yeah, yeah. It's just time to move on. It's time. It's time.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
time to
feel
trade.
like it's a change of scenery. It's Memphis not really winning right now. They were supposed to be those, the dark horse team in the West that scare some teams and stuff like that. But it's just too much outside confusion goes on with the Memphis Grizzlies, and I feel
Hmm.
like Ja, his the previous history with him is kind of what carried over to this madness now, and it's not resulting on the court, you know. So with that being said, yeah, it's probably time for Ja to leave. That's why I said, and I feel like Memphis should just do a fire sale, get rid of everybody,
Oh yeah,
and
oh
start
yeah.
it
Get
over,
rid of
start it
everybody.
over.
Restart,
Yeah, you
restart.
know,
And I mean, they were always top two in the West from what I remember.
Hmm.
I remember always seeing Memphis top
Debo,
three, and
yeah,
maybe
they had some
maybe the coach,
guys.
maybe coach was the glue. Because I remember they fired him,
Taylor
right?
Jenkins.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Taylor
Yeah, yeah,
Jenkins, they
Taylor
fired
Jenkins, he
him.
was
Yeah.
good.
If I'm not mistaken, it was like at the end of the season, or it was at some crazy time or something like that. But I mean, maybe they fired Taylor Jenkins. Maybe it's just time to get rid of everybody on Memphis and start over.
Yeah,
Well, they
probably.
say the coach out there talk. He want a team buy-in. It's a team sports, a team. And Taylor Jenkins say, "Hey, Ja had the ball. The offense ran through Ja. So
Hmm.
and so this offense ain't running through Ja. It's running through who get the ball, who got the hot
Oh,
hand.
yeah, yeah,
So I think that's where Ja's frustration is, and that then caused him to be on the bench.
And
yeah.
again, what is Jaws? Um, what is his stock though? You know, like it's easy to be like
Yeah.
just trade him, but I mean, it's
Like
almost
what?
better to try to get him to buy in because after all the drama and all the
It's
history, it's like what
this
team is really going to give you a deal that you feel
exactly,
satisfied with?
yeah,
So it's
exactly. Because
almost just like
what
maybe
is
you
his?
retool this
Yeah,
thing and try to get him back
yeah.
because who's going to trade? I mean, it's almost like the
What
Zion
is? Because I'm about to
situation
say
with the Pelicans.
he's not an elite scorer. He's not like this lockdown defender or this high flashy
Exactly.
passer. He's not. He was just a explosive player that makes high flying plays and stuff like that. So now that the high flying plays are gone, what is his value? And that's scary for Memphis, if you ask me.
I think the conduct that drove his value. I'll say Ja was an elite scorer. Ja was averaging about 27, 28 points per game. Ja was a monster. I
But
give Ja
that's
that,
also
and a
with
lot of that
Desmond
relied on
Bain.
his
That was
athleticism.
also with Desmond Bain in the backcourt too. That
That's
took off a
true.
lot of pressure, and that's why Desmond Bain got traded for 5, 6 picks because he
That's
did his
true.
thing with him and
Desmond
Ja. They
Bain was
counterpunched off
over
each other.
20 points per game.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could
uh,
definitely
what?
I could definitely see.
I personally
Uh-huh.
think it's like the Pelicans situation. If your star player has dropped his stock value that much, I think you just try to retool and get him back, bro, and get him back in the system, bro. Because I don't know who's gonna trade real assets for Ja because of his conduct and because he's that Derrick Rose type of player. Like, how long can he keep it up? You got to question his
Hmm.
longevity because how
Yep.
long can he keep up those explosive, dynamite plays? So,
Hmm.
um, I think if you're Memphis,
Hmm.
if a team gives you a good deal, take it. But I mean, if they don't, you might just want to think about just trying to get him back. I don't know.
Right.
What's a job influence man in Memphis? Is it T Morant, his dad? What I don't know what happened to Job that man. Was it his team around him? You know what I mean? He was getting in too much trouble.
I
I
don't know,
understand
man.
you,
That's
he's a young crash out, but damn, somebody had to rein. Somebody should have been
the
reining that dude
Somebody
lifestyle,
needed.
in.
man. It's the lifestyle, man. It's the
Yeah,
new era from 2020s. It's a new era.
Uh-huh.
The 2019s, these guys they said they're young and they said hundreds of millions of dollars. It's like and it's coming to
yeah,
them, you know. And I just think that's what it is, man. It's a fast life, and they just
yeah.
no guidance. That's all.
Got the blown fat.
He
But
ain't
then
had the
they
right
just
people in
sound
his corner.
he had the right people is going you're right. But then
Yeah.
they just signed Jared Jackson to a long contract. They just
Oh, Jared
re-signed
Yeah.
Jackson
him.
been balling,
Yeah,
bro.
they did, man, they did, and that's why I was pulling. I know, man, coworker, we talked about this before. Who if we would trade Trae Young? I always said I was like, man, if I was the Hawks, I would send them away to Memphis, man. If they can do whatever they wanted with Ja, send trade to Memphis for Jaren Jackson. That's an offensive piece for them to start over for because they want to be an offense out there. And knowing we trying to get our defenses to an elite level, I think Jaren Jackson is the missing piece for the Hawks, and that's why I always took that trade for them. But that was just my theory.
I just I mean, Jared. Don't get me wrong. Jaren Jackson will be an amazing starting piece for the Hawks, and I get rid of Porzingis in that trade if we
Because
doing that.
I'm about to say exactly because Porzingis is not your long term guy. We all know
Right.
that. Why not get younger? Let's get a defensive piece, a true defensive piece.
Right, and you
That's
know
just
what?
me.
I think that can 100% be the play because the way Nikhil Alexander balling, I mean, I think
With
he could
Jalen
be
Johnson,
dang near a starting
yeah,
piece for us if in a championship contended team. So
yeah. If
I
we
do
get rid of Trey,
believe
definitely if we get rid of Trey.
Jaren Jackson could 100% be a good piece. Good piece. I just don't know if Memphis will want Trey, seeing what they've seen because he is 27. I mean he
Mhm.
still got theoretically he still got about
Mhm,
five
they got
six
time.
years, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way
Of elite
players
play,
are
of elite play.
the
Who
way
talking about
players
Jared
are
Jackson?
playing longer, he could play for maybe another
Yeah,
7 years, but
Yeah.
I
I
think you
don't know
said
if
Trey.
Memphis will
Yeah,
really
Oh,
want him.
Trey.
yeah.
Mm,
Because it's not. It's only so much that you what's out there in my eyes.
That's true.
yeah.
That's true.
It's only so
That's true.
much.
Yeah. And then your boy, he trying to get. Did y'all see? Who was that? KD.
Yeah.
He said. Ant Edwards and Zion can shut the whole WNBA down because they get everybody pregnant.
Man. Man, dude.
Yeah, man.
Just terrible.
Yeah, I can believe it too. I can believe it. Definitely with Zion. Definitely with Zion. You gotta be careful with him.
But my thing with Zion, dude, it was so much hype. That's so disappointing by him. He was the number one overall player, overall pick. So explosive at Duke. Then he came to the league. He done ate his way out of the league, damn near. I think he
Man.
slimmed down this year, didn't he? But he ate his way
Yeah,
out
yeah,
of the
he,
league, bro.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
he looked good before the season, but I mean, it's a if I'm not mistaken, he be still dealing with injury issues this entire
But he been
season.
playing these last few
Oh, has
games. He
he?
been playing though. Yeah, he been playing. I
Mhm.
know. I want to say like roughly 2 games ago he just played. I know he took the other night off because they had a back to back. But he against the Lakers he took off. But other than
Yeah.
that, he been playing. He do look slim down though. So
Oh
I can
yeah.
say that.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I
All right,
remember seeing pictures.
and I'm gonna ask y'all this, right? And we come from two different generations.
Mhm.
In my man, when I was coming up, I didn't see that back. Them cats played back to back. The Kobe's, the Mike, these
They
cats
did,
right here,
and
low
yeah,
balance. It's like, well, hey man, I gotta take the night off, man. I understand it's a lot of stress. And I think me and Jada had some of
yeah.
these conversations because he played a lot of ball. But
Mhm.
is it, man? These cats take a lot of time off. Like, okay, I'm telling you, if I paid my hard-earned money to
Mhm.
see LeBron and he ain't playing tonight, I'm disappointed as hell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And you don't
yeah.
know if he ain't
I
playing
ain't playing
till
tonight. Yeah,
game
that's
time or you'd
true.
have bought
That's true.
tickets. So,
That's true. Uh,
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating.
yeah, it's frustrating. I feel like that's more so with the league thing, and now that he put the rules in, where I feel like you got to play what do you say, 65 games just to be eligible
65 games.
for
Yep.
MVP or something of that
Mm-hmm.
nature.
mhm.
The guys know they're not gonna get MVP, so why not take off? And that's how I feel. I feel like
But it's for
Zion be
All Star
down.
selection too,
Some of them, man, now they didn't made
and that I think that affects
185
the money
million
if I'm
or
not mistaken.
250 million. So yeah,
Yeah.
man. I feel like the money is, and some of them they just care about the money, man. Let me just build some type of wealth or have this status, and I'm okay with it. I feel like they not team players. They
Now,
just yeah. Just,
Mhm.
a counter argument would be maybe it's just the science behind it. Some of these guys, I mean,
mm,
we look at Steph, KD, LeBron. These guys are playing for a very long time, much longer than the older generation at a very higher level. So I mean, you can maybe make an
kind of agree.
argument like for longevity. There's more science behind this. Maybe let me sit this out on a back to back.
I can see that.
So I can push my body for a longer time. So maybe some of them see it. Some organizations, because I know the Clippers organization, they was forcing, from what Kawhi said, I'm pretty sure they was forcing Kawhi, or from what Paul George said, they were forcing them to sit out certain games, and I'm sure
Yeah,
some of that was just BS, but
yeah,
maybe it's just the science behind it.
I got y'all.
yeah.
So I got y'all on that. So before we close out, man, this live, man, we had a few people in our chat, man. We had a people. We were at 40 minutes. So um, is OKC gonna do this thing back to back? Or do
Yeah.
y'all see somebody that they're
Oh, without a
clipping?
doubt.
We're
Without a
healthy. Oh
doubt.
yeah, without a doubt.
Oh, without a
100%.
doubt,
Stay healthy.
man. Can't
They
nobody.
I
That
think they
defense is
just got
elite.
their second best player back, bro. I think they just got Jay Will back. Them boys was like they 20-1 if I'm not mistaken. They play tonight versus the Warriors. I'm pretty sure Jalen Williams is just coming back, bro. There's no force stopping them. The defense, it's
Yeah,
not the offense, it's the
it's the
defense. I
defense. It's the
realize it now.
defense. Yeah.
It's not the offense. They can weather any storm because they know when it's time to lock in and it's time to get some
Yep.
stops
That's
every
it.
single time, bro. The
Yep.
traps, the
I
activity,
seen
the
it against
energy. It's a
Minnesota
culture
the
there.
other
It's an
day.
identity.
Yeah. It was like, against Minnesota, I want to say at one point of the game, it was like 98-98 at some point in like the last 3 minutes. And next thing you know, okay, see, we're
They
on like
win
an 8-0
games in
run.
5 to 6
Just
minutes,
like that. And it was
just like
like,
that.
I was like, yeah, they just too good, man.
You
There's
think you
nobody beat
hanging
them. I would
around?
say they the new dynasty, definitely. They the
Yeah.
top team without a doubt.
It. I would say they're the new dynasty, not just because the talent, the trio between Chet, Jay Williams, and uh, who's my boy Shea. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say they're just a giant dynasty just because of the core, but I would say they're a dynasty because these boys are
Just
going to get
how they
two
play.
more top 10 draft picks, dude.
Yeah,
If I'm not
picks,
mistaken, they
yes.
got the Clippers draft pick,
Yeah.
and the Clippers
And the
look hot
Jazz.
garbage. They finna get
Yeah,
another top
and the
5 draft
Jazz.
pick,
Yep.
and they finna get another. I think they got like two or three more first round draft picks for this
Yeah, they
next.
do. In
So
the
it's
future.
not just the core that's really good. It's
I
the
think they got
fact
a good
that
coach, man. I think that
we can
coach is
replace
very
him. They got
good.
a great coach. Yeah.
I think that coach is really good.
Yeah, with all them draft picks, sound like they got a great GM too.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
definitely.
dude,
Definitely.
absolutely. I
OKC
forget his
is the
name,
team to
but
beat.
yeah,
They the team to beat. They the team to beat, without a
So,
doubt.
100%,
so,
100%.
and I'm now finna start. This is the last thing before I close. I promise. With Bronny being in the league without his daddy,
No, I say it right now. He wouldn't be in the league.
come on,
I say it.
Jane, come on.
I say it right
Oh
now.
no, man. Oh no. Oh no.
And
I don't know. Because one thing I can say about Bronny, he do play defense.
He does.
Defense and effort will get you in the league, even though we know the game is evolving around scoring now, and which he might develop into a scorer. I know a lot of players do, but he do play defense and he do give effort on the court. So
I,
what he would have got drafted or I
that's what
mean,
I just
regardless,
to
he was a
say.
second round pick. He was a second round pick. So I'm not gonna say if he got drafted, he was a second round pick. He got drafted. I feel like we'll never know though. We'll never know.
I
See,
I
I
say it. I
feel like
say it
with his
like
defense though,
this.
he'll get in the league. I say he with his defense alone, he probably would have got in
Okay,
the league.
good.
I say it like a lot of the NBA. I feel like is opportunity, and I just don't believe without his dad he wouldn't have got the. I'm not saying Bronny James isn't an NBA caliber player, but I don't
Gotcha.
think he would have had the opportunity to get in those doors, get with the personal
If it
trainers,
wasn't with
get the
see
opportunity
that.
on the court, because I just don't think he was talented enough to warrant that type of opportunity, and that's just my opinion.
But tell me this before we close, before the injury at USC, do that. I feel like before that injury, we've seen two different people, two different players completely. Before and after. I feel like
I could be an
that
argument.
what happens on the court sometimes do have a confident booster. And I feel like he's trying to find his way back to that. And it's slowly showing. He's taking his deep threes. He playing a little bit more intense defense. I feel like he's just trying to get his feet underneath him. And that's how I see it.
That could be it.
I think so. I like I said. I think his father gave him some doors to
Yeah,
be
definitely.
open. You know what I mean? And as
Definitely.
a father, I would do the same thing. Let me say,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I'm gonna be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
help where I could. So I don't
Yeah,
blame.
son. Yeah.
But I was just saying because without without LeBron, and then that's the
hmm
bad part about it, when LeBron leave,
hmm
who gonna give him that opportunity? You know, because he's a solid player. Don't get it
He's
wrong.
solid. Yeah.
He's getting better,
Mhm.
Oh yeah, you're real solid.
but and there's no knock on Bronny. Because I don't like to diss or down nobody. Because I
Mhm.
think he's a good kid. I think he's a
Mhm.
humble kid to say his
Yeah.
dad, who his dad is.
It is.
I
Yeah.
think there's some guys out there in the G League is more talented.
The
I
grind is more. It's more serious with the grind.
oh yeah.
I will say that. I will say. I feel like those guys are 100% grinding without a
Yeah,
doubt
because they're
harder
hungry.
than they're hungry. Where compared to Bronny, where yeah, that is LeBron James.
Yeah. You think LeBron gonna stay to his other son? Come to the league?
Bryce what got Bryce in college, right? Bryce at Arizona, right?
Yeah, he can come out next year.
Oh well, yeah. He only Brian
From
gonna
what
give us
I
one more.
heard,
He'll give us one or two more. He
from
said he would be done before 28, guaranteed. He said before 28, but I think he give Bryce a shot too, at
from
least
Okay.
1 year.
what I heard though,
Uh,
Braun won't be pushing Bryce to be a one and done as he did for Bronny. And I don't
okay.
know. I don't think Bryce is the same talent that Bronny is. If I'm being real, just as a prospect, as an NBA prospect, I think Bronny
Better
was a
or
stronger
worse?
play. I think
Oh, okay,
Bryce has the height and the physicals more, but I still think Bronny was a better prospect than Bryce. So
Okay.
I don't really know if Bryce is really going to be that one and done. Because he
okay.
LeBron already did that thing where he wanted to play with his son.
So
So
he
I
did
think
that.
Yeah, he
I
did
mean it's
that.
a
He did that.
bonus, but I mean I don't really think he's going to be a one and done. So I
I
don't
see
think
that.
so.
I see that.
Okay. All right, then.
I
Well,
see
guys,
that.
man. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Every Tuesday we'll be talking about basketball, man. Anytime y'all want to come on the show, from we here 3 nights a week: Sunday, Thursday, and Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Tuesday we talk about basketball. Thursday we'll be talking about the SEC. Thursday it'll be dogs and Bama. So with that, man. Until next time, y'all be good. Shalom. See you later. All right.
Peace.